I'm RDW, and this is RDW Review. Now, first things first, I'd like to apologise for the picture and audio quality. I am sorry, I am recording this off my webcam. Hopefully, sometime in the future, hopefully not too long, it will improve. Now, Dredd 3D is the first starring role for actor Karl Urban. You might actually recognise Karl Urban from a few other films like the Star Trek reboot or that piece of crap Priest from last year. He's also been in a few other films such as Doom and Chronicles of Riddick. Now, Dredd is his first starring role, so I was interested to see how his actual portrayal of Dredd would be. Now, many people, when they hear the words Judge Dredd, will actually think of the Sylvester Stallone film from the 90s. Now, that film is bad. That film is very bad. But I have to admit that film's a slight guilty pleasure. Now, I saw the film on its UK release date, this past Friday, the 7th, and I'm basically here to vent my opinion on it. Now, I have to admit, right from the off, Dredd 3D, it was great. I have to admit, it was a really good, fun ride. But I have to pre-warn you right now, the film is very violent. So if you are a little bit squeamish, or you're, not keen on, well, blood and guts and... The story for this film is as simple as you can get. If you've actually seen a film from earlier this year called The Raid Redemption, it's very similar to that story. Many people have stated that it's ripping the Raid off. It's not ripping the Raid off. Dredd 3D has been in production for quite a while. It was in production before the Raid. The basic gist of the film is Dredd and his new partner Anderson go into a huge tower block to investigate 3 homicides. From there, it turns into a bit of a drug bust, and shit, fan. Karl Urban is joined by actress Olivia Thirlby, who plays Judge Anderson, the new rookie who he's taking on an assessment, a training day, an evaluation to see if you can actually do the job. And also the film stars Lena Headey, who plays the main villain Mama. You may actually recognise Lena Headey from Sarah Connor Chronicles. She actually plays Sarah Connor. She's also in Game of Thrones, and she's been in numerous other things, TV shows, movies, lots of things. Now, when I first went into this film, I was interested to actually see what kind of direction they'd go with Dredd. The original 90s version was very, very bright, very comic booky in a way, and Dredd, even though he is from a comic book, isn't that kind of character. He's much more, well, how to put it politely, he's a bastard. This film is great. It's a fantastic thrill ride, I have to admit that. It's wonderful to actually see that they've actually managed to get the character of Dredd spot on. Karl Urban plays him with a gruff, wonderful kind of exterior. You do actually kind of feel that there's a little bit more behind the Dredd character than just this harsh, no-nonsense, shoot first, ask questions later type of guy. There's a few scenes in there that will actually kind of make you question, are we going to see a little bit more of Dredd's character? We don't really get any deeper into Dredd's character by the end of the film. Now, Olivia Thirlby as Judge Anderson goes on a wonderful character arc in this film. At the start of the film, when you first see her, she is very, very nervous, and she's also very apprehensive of her first day of the job. When things go wrong, let's say, the girl can handle herself. Now, Lena Headey as Mama is, well, deliciously vicious. She's got a wonderful vicious streak to her that through the film kind of shows itself more and more, and by the end of the film she turns out to be quite a brutal character. Now, everybody else in the film is, as you would expect in this type of movie, cannon fodder. That's all they are. They're there to take a bullet. This film, as the title suggests, is in 3D. Now, for those of you who are not fans of 3D, I really don't think this film's going to convert you. One of the main plot points of the film is the main villain Mama is creating a drug called slow-mo. Slow-mo is meant to slow down how humans portray the world down to 1% of their normal brain speed. So everything runs in slow motion. So when the slow motion scenes kick in, the 3D works. It really does work. Now this isn't slow motion as in bullet time. This is really, really slow, and it actually works very well with the 3D. But I have to say the 3D after that for me kind of took a back seat. It's more subtle than anything, so it's only really there for the slow motion scenes. So if you do get a chance to see it in 2D, it's not really going to make that much of a difference. But if all you can actually get to see is the 3D, it's fine. I mean, it's not going to, you know, change anybody's opinion. Now, the overall tone of the movie is much more realistic than the 90s Judge Dredd version. It's got a much more dirtier and grittier type of tone. Now, the dirty, gritty type of darker movies are kind of being, you know, thrown into the films over the past 10 years. This is much more, it's not darker, it's just more set within a realistic world till the actual, you know, the blood kicks in. There are a few scenes where the violence is actually going on within the slow motion sections, and they could make you wince. I have to admit, it did make me actually, you know, cringe slightly. However, the overall action in the film is a blast. It really is fantastic to watch. There's, as I mentioned at the start, it's a very, very, very thin plot. There's not much there with regards to it, so it really does kick in with the action very fast. The action itself is very well done. The actual feel of the film as they're walking through the actual tower block is very claustrophobic. It really does make you feel that Dredd and Anderson, the judges, are being chased and are really kind of in the shit, as you would say. Now, the bad of the film. There's not a lot wrong with it if you know what you're getting yourself in for. I kind of knew what to expect from this film. I wasn't going into Dredd expecting anything more than, you know, an action fest. If you go into this film expecting to actually find a great plot, you're not gonna be happy, really. The ending section of the film, don't worry, no spoilers on this channel. All I'm going to say is I expected the ending section of the movie to be a little bit longer. I thought there was going to be a bit more action in the ending. But what had we been given previous to that, I can't really complain. However, overall, I have to admit, I was surprised by Dredd. It's great to actually see this kind of film come out around this time of year, especially after all the films we've already had during the summer. We've had Avengers, we've had The Dark Knight. We've had the real name big ones of the year. Dredd, for me, is a great film. If you're into your action movies and you want to go along and just enjoy a blast, then by all means, go to watch this film. I have to say, Karl Urban is Judge Dredd. Overall, I'm going to give Judge Dredd 3D a 4 out of 5. And on my scale, that's great. Thank you very much for watching. I'm RDW. This is my first ever YouTube movie review. I hope you enjoyed it, and by any chance, if you did enjoy it, please click subscribe. I will be trying to get movie reviews up as much as I can. Due to time constraints, obviously I will be getting them up as often as I've seen the films. I'm not privy to any advanced screenings or anything like that, so I will be going to see films probably around the same times as you guys are. I will be putting up my reviews and opinions on this. If you have any comments, questions or suggestions, by all means leave them down in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.